All right, so I've gone and done it again. Today was another father-son morning. My wife sleeping a little bit, getting off that night shift. She's quite tired. So I was thinking, am I gonna take my son to this classic car show downtown Lincoln where we live? Or maybe I'm gonna take him to this big farmer's market where I've been told they got like every damn thing there. So I took him to the farmer's market for a couple of different reasons. One, because I know he's gonna be tired of looking at cars after a short period of time, and there's only so much you can do. There's still the street, yada, yada, yada. Whereas if I take him to the farmer's market, we might see some toys, we get some food, you feel what I'm saying? We find some hidden gems, things of that nature. And this farmer's market was pretty dope because you know those shops in the mall that have those Power Wheels? There was like 10 or 15 of those little hut situations at this particular farmer's market, which was more like a flea market. But anyways, I digress. I've gone on too long about that. The point is, it was my man's first time at a flea market, farmer's market of this proportion, and he had a great time. Vroom. Whoa! I don't crash into nothing now. Turn around. Whoa! That's a little Disney princess. All right, go ahead. Whoa! You're good, buddy. Whoa! I got you. Right here, buddy. Miles, you're filthy right now. Up, buddy. Up. A walk in the sun? I feel like it might be famous. Uh-oh. That being said, for me, one of the reasons why I like going to these types of places is because you do find some of those hidden gems. You dig? So, what do I got right here? I got a little Charlie Sheen action classic, Terminal Velocity. This movie, from what I remember, it was probably all right. But it did have a couple action sequences that as just a young man, I would play them again and again in my head when I was acting out my little action set pieces with my action figures. So this movie right here, definitely a little bit of fun from what I remember. Upon rewatching, we'll see. We got Smokin' Aces 2. Damn, yo, the first Smokin' Aces was actually pretty fly. And personally for me, when I first watched it, it was the first movie that I kind of saw of its ilk, if you will, in the fact that it was kind of grainy, it was kind of oversaturated and, you know, a little bit of blown out as far as like highlights were concerned, extremely stylish. The movie kind of starts with a bang and doesn't really let up much throughout. And the action is lunacy. The idea that these characters would actually exist in some type of real world setting is beyond me, but it is extremely well acted when it needs to have acting that makes you want to believe. The action is top notch, fun and exciting, and it's got a pretty well-rounded cast from Common to Taraji P to a little bit of Ryan Reynolds. You got Andy Garcia up in this piece, Jeremy Piven. I mean, you really got a who's who of people up in this movie. It's pretty fun. So hopefully Smokin' Aces might be just as good. I doubt it because not many people really watched it. I've never heard anybody actually talk about it, but it was super cheap. So I said, why the hell not? Project Almanac. Now this right here is one of my first reviews. Please do not go back and watch it, because I can promise you this, those first videos that I did reviewing movies and whatnot, kind of cringe. I laugh at myself now, but why was I yelling at the camera so often? Yo, it's like I was tripping. So if you do go back and watch that review, you're gonna be like, what's this guy's problem? Why is he yelling so much? But this movie was actually a pretty fun time travel movie. Basically, they're watching some like old school little family films of this kid's birthday, and he sees himself, the more grown version, teenage version, like in the background of those films, and they got to try to figure out what's jumping off. Pretty fun movie. This one right here, Striking Distance, a Bruce Willis classic. Not really, but it was definitely a classic in the Green household. I'd watch this movie oftentimes when I didn't have school or anything of any importance to do. Good movie, some great action. Bruce Willis always putting in that work, especially in the earlier days of his career. Now, this one right here is the type of film that if you saw this at like a gas station or a Walmart $5 bin, you'd easily pass it up. You'd keep digging to the bottom, hoping that you'd find something a lot better. But the only reason that I picked this movie up, number one, I was, not gonna lie, a little interested in this little devil creature right here. It is called Devil's Pass. So I'm like, oh shit, it's like a little troll in the mountain. What's going on here, right? But then when I seen up here from Renny Harlin, yo, I'm not gonna front like Renny Harlin is a Scorsese or a Kubrick or a Chris Nolan. Definitely not. But Renny Harlin has definitely entertained my youth to a certain extent that I must thank him for. I mean, we're talking about Long Kiss Goodnight, Die Hard 2. Not many people like it, but F, that movie's got some great action. Cliffhanger, arguably, for me, one of my favorite Sylvester Stallone films. Cliffhanger. If y'all have not seen Cliffhanger, get on that ish. Jim Carrey is a GOAT. Jim Carrey is a legend. And in his Ace Ventura 2, he did a parody of the opening to Cliffhanger. That's how big that movie was. But the movie is legit. And it comes from Renny Harlin. So I said, you know what? If Renny Harlin did Devil's Pass, maybe I give it a try. You dig? Also, when I was showing my wife what I picked up from the flea market / farmer's market, she was looking at the bottom and she was like, wait, based on a true story? I was like, yo, I did not even catch that. This mug is based on a true story. Now I'm really interested about what's about to jump off. So anyway, fun time at the flea market with my son. First time listening to some music, running around, going crazy, driving on some little motorcycle Power Wheels. And we picked up 5 nice little DVDs that's going to entertain us for a little bit of time. That's all I got for you. Holla.